Hi everyone. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Aman and I am the acting coordinator of volunteers for the Kids Start program in the Tri-Cities region. So today I'm going to talk about LGBTQ2S plus terms. By no means am I an expert or is this an exhaustive list. These are just terms that have come up for me in my own practice most often. Okay, let's get right into it. All right, so the first term is LGBTQ2S. So this is an acronym that's used to refer to lesbian, gay, bisexual, trans, queer, and two-spirited people. So often you will see additional letters or a plus sign added to the end of the acronym. That's just to be more inclusive of all individuals. So if you're going to be using this term, it's important to be mindful not to make fun of the length of the acronym, as that can be very trivializing or erasing for individuals that this acronym is actively trying to include with additional letters or a plus sign. Our next section is an ally. So an ally is a person who supports and celebrates the LGBTQ2S plus identities, interrupts and challenges oppressive behaviors, remarks and actions of others, and is willing to explore their own heterosexist and cis-centric biases. So being an ally requires action. So what this could look like is letting a friend or a family member know that their comment or joke was inappropriate, or potentially advocating for the rights, the health, the wellness, the acceptance of the LGBTQ community. All right, so gay is a person who is mostly attracted to those of the same sex. So the word gay is often used in reference to men. Lesbian is a woman who is primarily attracted to other women. Okay, so pronoun. So this is an important one. So a pronoun is a word used to refer to someone without using their name. And it's important to ask people their pronouns, or when they let you know their pronouns, to use the appropriate pronouns, as the pronouns may not necessarily match what you believe or think their pronouns could or should be. Okay, so an example of asking for pronouns. My name is Aman, and I use the pronoun she and her. Can you please let me know your name and your pronouns? So in this next section here, I've included a chart. It includes pronouns in the subjective, objective, possessive, adjective, possessive pronoun, reflexive, and pronunciation. It's a bit small, so if you can zoom into it, definitely do. I have found this chart to be quite helpful in the past, as it really breaks down the pronouns that you aren't maybe comfortable using because you haven't used them yet. So the they, them, and the z's are pronouns. So yeah, like I said, I will leave it up for a little bit, take a look at it, and then we'll move on to the next section. Okay, so in our next section, we have gender. So gender is the social construct of masculinity and femininity in a specific culture and time. It involves gender assignment, gender roles, gender attribution, and gender identity. So for gender identity, it's one's internal and pathological sense of oneself as a man, a woman, both, in between, either, or an other understanding of gender. Then we have gender expression, so how one outwardly expresses gender. So examples of this could be through their choice of pronouns, name, how they choose to dress, or voice modulation, which means the sound of their voice. Then we have gender binary, so the view that there are only two totally distinct, opposite, and static genders to identify with and express. So that would be masculinity and femininity. It's important to note that there are many societies around the world who believe that this gender binary is universal. However, there's also many societies around the world who recognize, understand, and identify with gender fluidity, which is experiencing more than one gender at different times. Okay, so this is non-binary. So a continuum or a spectrum of gender identities and expressions, often based on the rejection of gender binary's assumption that gender is strictly an either or option, so male men or female women, based on sex assignment at birth. Okay, so this is cisgendered, identifying with the same gender that one was assigned at birth, a gender identity that society considers to match the biological sex assigned at birth. So an example of this could be the sex I was assigned at birth was female, and now as an adult I identify as female with she, her pronouns. So I would be cisgendered. Okay, so our next section here is on inclusive language. So again, a little small, so if you can zoom into it. The use of gender non-specific language to avoid assumptions around gender identity and sexual orientation, and to enhance the accessibility of information and services. So educational services, social services, and health services are highly encouraged to use this while providing service. So examples of this could be using the word partner instead of husband or wife, or using the pronoun they instead of she. So if I'm potentially working with a client and I'm saying you're a partner, and they let me know, oh wait, no, actually that's my husband or wife, I can switch to that term because they've let me know. So in this next section, we do have a little bit of a chart. It's just some non-gender specific inclusive language. I'll read out the examples we have. So thanks, friends. Have a great night. Good morning, folks. Hi, everyone. Can I get you all something? So shifting to gender inclusive language respects and acknowledges the gender identities of all people and removes assumptions. So it's really important to be mindful of your language when you're speaking to people, especially when they do let you know. Again, like with pronouns, when they let you know to use they, them, or that they don't identify with a specific gender, to just be as inclusive as you can be. Okay, so the term queer, this is a term that's becoming more widely used among the LGBTQ2S plus communities because of its inclusiveness. So it's used to refer to a spectrum of non-heterosexual and or non-cisgendered people, and it provides convenient shorthand for the LGBTQ2S plus. So I've included some asterisks at the bottom there. Why I did that was just so everybody would be mindful of the fact that the word queer is a reclaimed term, and it used to be used as a hate term. So a lot of people are still uncomfortable using it and hearing it. So if this is a term that you're deciding to use, you need to be really mindful of your audience and who you're speaking to, and maybe ask how they feel about the term and what it means to them, so you're not offending them in any way. Okay, so bisexual or biromantic. So it's an individual who is attracted to and may form relationships with at least two genders. So some people define this as being attracted to both male and female, or as being attracted to their own gender and another gender. Okay, so asexual is someone who does not experience sexual attraction for individuals. Asexuality can be considered a spectrum, with people experiencing desire for varying types of physical intimacy, and this desire may fluctuate over time. So pansexual is an individual who's attracted to and may form a relationship with all genders. So they're attracted to individuals regardless of gender. So polyamory. So this is the practice of maintaining more than one romantic and or sexual relationship simultaneously and in a consensual manner. Not all polyamorous folk will have more than one relationship at the same time. It's important to remember that the word consensual is included in the definition. Everybody involved in this relationship is aware that is a polyamorous relationship. Okay, transgender. So transgendered is an umbrella term for a wide range of experiences and identities for people whose gender does not match the gender they were assigned at birth. The word transgendered is often shortened to trans. Identifying as trans is something that can only be decided by an individual for themselves and does not depend on criteria such as surgery or hormone treatment status. So again, it's important to remember here that it is very much an individual choice. So our next term here is two-spirited. So this is a term used by many Indigenous communities to describe people with diverse gender identities, gender expressions, gender roles, and sexual orientations. With the term two-spirited, it varies among Indigenous groups, and the way that two-spirited people are viewed is different among different Indigenous groups. Okay, so coming out, or coming out of the closet. So this is a process of becoming aware of one's gender and or sexuality, accepting it, and letting others know about it. So this is an ongoing process, and may not include all aspects of one person's life. So coming out usually occurs in stages, and this is a nonlinear process. So it may include, specific family members and associates, or it may not include those people. So it's important just to remember that some individuals may not come out to anyone, or may only come out to very specific people in their lives, and that's okay. Okay, so those are all the terms that I wanted to go over today. And like I said earlier, by no means is this a exhaustive list, and by no means am I an expert. All of the information that from A to Queer, their 2018 edition, I have included the link just on this page if you wanted to go ahead and look through some more resources. If you do have any questions or concerns that came up for you today, you can definitely give me a call, or you can send me an email, whatever is best for you. Well, thanks for participating and taking part in this training with me today.